All right, Connor Wallace, big important fight for you coming up on Jai Opetaia's card, June 8th. Thoughts on this fight and what it means for your career?
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm at that stage of my career now where every fight's a world title fight, you know what I mean? So one loss, you can slip right back down the rankings again. So it's a massive fight for me. Had a little bit of a break after the last one and stuff, and I'm feeling refreshed and just got back from Thailand. I had a training camp over there. I'm really looking forward to putting on a good show, you know. I feel like I'm enjoying it a lot more, and because I had a massive year the year before, you know, and it's just bit injuries and stuff, and but my body feels great, and I'm really looking forward to putting on a good show.
What do you know about this guy? What sort of strengths does he possess, and what do you need to be sort of watchful of in the ring?
Yeah, I know he's a tough, strong guy. He comes to fight. He's got a great record as well. Obviously, he was 14-0 and then just lost on the Fury and Usyk undercard to the big tall guy Daniel Lapin, the Ukrainian from Usyk's camp. So he's going to be, obviously he's fought a tall southpaw before. I'm not as tall as Lapin, but I feel like I'm a little bit of a different style to him. So I'm looking forward to getting in and showing what I can do. You know, obviously people know me as I always get stuck in a war and fight and stuff. I do love to scrap, but I gotta be smarter, you know what I mean, and I'm looking forward to showing what I can do. And as I said, like you seen against Pampalone, I couldn't stand and fight with him. I boxed him, and I can do it, you know what I mean. So I feel like the better the person, the better I'll fight. So
Where do you sort of see yourself in the landscape there? You know, ranked number 2 by the IBF. Where do you sort of see yourself? How far away are you towards that sort of title shot?
yeah, definitely, we're not a million miles away. You know, obviously, I'm definitely not overlooking this opponent. My main focus is on June 8th, and once I get through him, who knows, my next fight could be for a world title, you know what I mean? So the main thing for me is to keep working hard, keep dedicated, and be ready for when that opportunity comes so I can take it with both hands.
What are your thoughts on Jai's fight on this card?
Yeah, it's exciting as well. I think Jai, similar to myself as well, he's chasing the unification fights, I'm chasing the world title. So the main thing for both of us is to keep winning, you know. Obviously he's world champion already, it's a little bit different, but what I'm saying is both of us, we're better when we're active, you know what I mean? So he's staying active, I'm staying active, and when the opportunity comes for the big fights, that's what we want.
What do you make of that situation there with Zurdo Ramirez and Jai Opetaia? Do you think Zurdo's sort of avoiding that fight? He's set to fight on Jake Paul's undercard. How do you assess that?
Yeah, but I think from the outside looking in, it sort of seems that way, you know what I mean? But why wouldn't you be avoiding Jai Opetaia? But it is what it is. Eventually they will have to fight, and I think Jai will be ready when that time comes.
Now tell us a little bit about your story. Originally from Ireland, come over here, and share a bit about your journey to Australia.
Yeah, obviously I've been here now for like 7 years. Steve Deller from Fortitude Boxing has brought me over, and I've been there ever since. I've absolutely loved it. Won the Australian title and stuff on my way up, and obviously after a massive amateur career, it took me sort of a while to transition into that pro style, and Steve told me that was going to be the case. And I feel like now, this past sort of couple of years, I've really started to mature into that pro style, with Greg Eady, my coach, and Luke Meldon as well, helping out. You know, I've got a great team around me with Tasman fighters and stuff, and I've been moved along nicely. You know, moved up the rankings. I'm ranked with most of the governing bodies in the top 10. So it's just that I'm at that part of my career now where the next move needs to be nice and smart, you know, and obviously we want that world title shot. So I feel like I'm in a great position with a great team around me that I'm able to get that shot.
We've seen Jai Opetaia sort of been taken under the wing by Riyadh Season, Turki Al Sheikh. Is this something you would like to sort of get involved in moving forward? You would like to fight over there in Saudi and that sort of thing?
Yeah, definitely. It's unbelievable that Jai is paving the way for us, you know what I mean? And to be coming in behind him, it's unreal. So wherever the big fights are, that's where I want to go. You know, I don't mind if they're here on the Gold Coast, if they're in Saudi, if they're in America. I just want the big fights, and I'm willing to do what it takes to get them.
Beterbiev and Bivol, what did you make of that rematch? How do you sort of assess that whole situation there?
Yeah, it sort of was a little bit annoying, frustrating, obviously, because it sort of leaves me up in the air a little bit for another bit longer. But it is what it is. I feel like the better man won in the night. So obviously it's 1-8, so they're going to do it again to see who wins the trilogy. You know, it's often great, the trilogies. But Obviously, it's a bit annoying, but it is what it is. You know, I'm a great believer in what's for you won't pass you, and whenever my time comes, I'll be ready.
Australian boxing, how do you assess the landscape here? We've got Jai leading the way. We've got guys like Tim Zhu, George Gambosis, Paro. How do you sort of assess Australian boxing? Justis Huni as well?
Yeah, it's incredible, you know, and like to be a part of that, especially I think it's the best the Australian boxing has been, you know, for such a long time, and to have so many world champions and past world champions that have just maybe lost their belts or whatever, you know, to be thereabouts and be a part of it and these big fights and big nights and bringing them here to Australia, it's unreal, you know. Like obviously people just thought it was the UK and America that was where all the big nights was, but to have world title fights here on the Gold Coast, and it's special.
Now, how nice is the Gold Coast?
Yeah, we were literally just saying that before we started the interview. You know, it's unreal. I could see myself living here. You know, like waking up on the beaches and going for a run along the beach, have a dip in the water, and have a coffee. You couldn't beat it.
So, what can we expect to see from you on June 8th? How does your fight sort of play out?
Yeah, as I say, I'm looking forward to bringing the best version of myself. You know, I've been working quietly in this sort of that period where I've had off after my last fight. You're going to see a smart, mature performance, and I'm looking forward to showing my boxing skill. You know, as I say, I had that big amateur background and stuff, that experience. You know, so I'm really looking forward to showing a mature version and one that's ready to win a world title. You know, and every fight from here on in is like a world title, as I say. So I need to show that I'm at that level and that I'm able to do it. So June 8th, I need to disperse of this opponent.
Nice one. We'll see you there.
Thank you.